Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. My name is Hank. With me, there's no use escaping. It's Ben.
It's something about my face. People see me and they're like, I'm going to cut him into so many pieces. I need to. I get it all the time.
Fair.
We read Tomie.
We read Junji Ito's Tomie.
I'll spoil your initial quote on it to me. It was fine.
Uh-huh.
Confirm?
You know?
Yeah.
It's the worst Junji Ito I've read, but it's still Junji Ito, you know?
It's not. I read this because we did Uzumaki, right?
Yeah.
We did the thing with like the planet that was gonna eat Earth or whatever, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then we did the diary. We did the diary ones.
The Cat Diary and Frankenstein.
And Frankenstein. I forget when I did this, because I read this like super early. It was like in that, because I downloaded like all of his shit because it was just in a big old collection. And yeah, it was. First off, I didn't know that it was. I was trying to like find the plot. And there was none.
No.
Not
and also, it's like literally his first work.
Oh, I see. I didn't even know that.
So the art in the first chapter is noticeably worse.
Yeah,
it's noticeably more amateurish. Like he definitely gets better at drawing.
Yeah.
Over the course of this, and like having assistants and stuff probably helps that too. But
yeah, it's so Tomie
more of a professional mangaka. Where I think the Tomie thing is like he's winning a contest.
Yes.
The first chapter.
Yeah. Because he has a little bit about it, depending on the version you have. He has like a comment about it or something. He's like on top of the world.
Yes.
Yeah, Tomie is the main character, and she's a very beautiful girl, and she's so beautiful that people need to fucking murder her. And also, she's like a mutant.
They look at her and fall in love, and then want to chop her up into itty bitty bits.
So,
and by fall in love, I mean mostly become obsessive about.
Yeah. Like love enslaved.
And also, like, she's a weird cancer monster where if you chop a bit of her, it just starts growing into a new Tomie.
Yes. And then you have a fucking Pope situation with three Tomies trying to bump each other off.
Yes. There can only be one. So the Tomies also always want to destroy each other if they become whole enough.
So I'm gonna try to navigate my way through the following sentences pretty carefully, but I'm also gonna need you and anyone else listening to do some of the legwork in regard to figuring out what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
As per usual. Not that I've ever wanted to cut people up. That ain't me. That's not my baby.
Starting out well.
Only a person who's never wanted to cut people up would say they've never wanted to cut people up. This is just logical, Hank, okay? Never wanted to cut people up. I've also never been love obsessed in like that. I wouldn't, if Ani asked me to kill, I would think about it, but I think it would still be a no from me. So, that's not really a thing hang on. I gotta sneeze. That's not really a thing for me, but the idea that they're like, they become so obsessed with her, like they love her, they want to do anything to like please her and but like then they kill her. This unlocked like a core memory. I had like the tiniest sliver of like this, but not terrible when I was little. And it's kind of like when, well, I'll throw Anya under the bus again. When Anya sees like a video of a really cute like ducky or something, and it's just a little ducky, and it's just it's not sad. The ducky didn't find a new home. It didn't lose its mom. It's just on the farm being cute. Like she'll cry, right? Like she doesn't know what to do with all this cuteness, and she'll cry.
Sure.
And I've spoken to other people who have that happen as well. When I was little, sometimes I would see stuff that was like so adorable and so cute, and my little child body didn't know what to, like really little, like 4 or 5 something. My little kid body didn't know how to contain like all of the squeeing or whatever. I didn't know what to do with this, and I kind of like instinctively I wanted to like choke stuff. Like it came out, not that I ever did. Okay, not in a way that like I was going to, but like I had this, or like I needed to remove the cuteness was the thing. Like I need to stop looking at it. I didn't cry, but I was like, this needs to get out of my life, and it kind of emerged in that way. I don't know. Again, sure. I'm not a psychopath. Cannot overstate. Didn't actually hurt anything, and it's not like it was a strong urge, or I'd probably not be here right now. But you know. Just I was like, I get it.
I only wanted to strangle people who were being annoying. So
yeah, no, that's fair. I want to donk him in the head and do like with the palm, just a little palm, like donk.
Well, you know. No, I just need you to stop. You know.
Oh yeah.
I just need you to stop.
Yeah, man. Stop being so cute.
I don't think I had that one.
Kids are fucking
it's a nope
weird.
For me.
Kids are fucked up. But also that tidbit was never going to be fucking relevant ever again. So had to swing for it while it was here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. They like
the Tomie obsession is just like I can only, having read Uzumaki, honestly, all I could see this is like, oh, this is like prototype Uzumaki. It's like,
yeah.
It's like the kind of things that get him to Uzumaki, but it's not as good.
Oh, it's not nearly
mostly.
as good.
Well, and a big reason for me that it's not as good is not having that central character that you're following, like the through line.
Yes.
Like the way that this is all broken up into separate sort of episodes.
I mean, we have that teacher.
Just means it's not going to hit with me.
We have that teacher. There's like a little tiny frayed thread.
They're
connected.
They're threads that come and go.
Yeah.
That's true.
So this
they last for a couple chapters, but I'm never attached to any of them.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. So this was, I also read this long before we read Mermaid Saga. And going into that, I thought it was going to be, after like the first story or like starting the second story in that, I thought it was going to be the same format. So there was actually a period there reading it where I was like, oh, I guess this is what we're doing. But then it wasn't that. It wasn't Tomie. So I'm like, oh, this is sick because it had those characters. That would greatly improve this. Like it would make it so much more enjoyable.
Yeah, it would make it more like Uzumaki.
Yeah.
Because like that's the thing that like elevates it to me. Like this is also kind of why I'm not that interested in diving deep into his all his short stories or whatever. Because I just know for me they're never gonna, something that's that short's just never gonna hit in the same way that his larger works do.
Not even This Is My Whole?
Well, This Is My Whole is hilarious and perfect, but it's kind of like you get everything out of it from the meme. Like isn't really that much in like the story if you read the whole thing that like you don't already just get from the one panel of This Is My Whole. Like I don't think the end where like the person's gone into their hole and they're all stretched out and stringy, it makes it better.
I'll compromise on that because the first time I saw it, they didn't post wherever it was posted.
I guess
the whole
beyond
thing.
The fact that like knowing that Junji Ito is good.
Sure.
rather than this is just a weird
Yeah,
thing.
see, and for me that was like that was my
it's just like
first
a
brush, you know?
Yeah.
Because I was like,
Yeah.
this is fucking. I've never read it. I've never seen anything like this. Who did this? Who's the fucked up dude?
Yeah.
I thought I read another short by him or something. I either read another
Possibly.
short by him, and it was one of his more like gory ones or something, if there's one of those, or I checked out something else. No, you know what? I think it was something else by a different creator that someone was like, oh, if you like this guy is also super good, except like his shtick wasn't like horror. It was just like, what if everybody's vomiting and bleeding everywhere and shit? And I'm just like, this is, I don't care. How is this the same as This Is My Hole? What?
I mean, I should say, like, Fault of Niagara Falls, like, that is the first thing of his I read, and I was like, this is good.
Which one?
This Is My Whole Story.
Oh, yeah, okay. I didn't catch it.
Like, that is the first thing I read of his, and I was like, oh, he's good. So I don't mean to, like, undersell that story either, like,
Yeah.
But beyond, like, reading it and going, oh, he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah. I think that's also
once you know that.
It's also a very good, like, I mean, more again, more for Uzumaki, despite this being a Tomie episode. it introduces like a sense of, it is related to Tomie. It introduces This Is My Whole introduces a sense of futility that Tomie doesn't really ever get from me. Like in Uzumaki, shit is spiraling downward constantly and irreparably. And it's not gonna and like that's that kind of overlaying emotion or feeling is really important for me in that sort of thing. So the fact that we never really get that in Tomie kind of sad. Even though I think it'd be easy. Like you just do the what was the movie Return of the Living Dead? Is that the one where like they all evaporate and then it gets spread everywhere and the earth is fucked?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like you can infer from Tomie that like Tomie's gonna be fucking everywhere. Like, you're not stopping this bitch. But we never get there.
To stop herself, but
yeah, but like she's gonna have to stop herself a lot, dude.
The thing with Tomie is just like enduring, right? Like it's just gonna keep happening,
yeah,
over and over. But I never get the sense that it's like necessarily going to be a worse problem in the way that Spiral is gets worse and worse.
Yeah,
and worse.
No, I'm saying I don't get that sense at all. But like you can imagine it there for yourself. But like I don't want to do that legwork.
Yeah, but I've read his other work that knows where he can get there if he needs to.
Oh, dude, the ending of Uzumaki is like that shit's perfection. Nope. I hear the door. The prophecy is coming to pass. Not the bedroom door yet, but but see, I think the mistake last time is that my door was open, and this time it's closed. We'll see.
And I mean, like even like Hellstar Ramina, like with everybody flying at the end, that story gets so fucking wild.
Oh, dude. God, that
shit just keeps going until it's on a whole other plane of existence.
In
terms of good.
No, that I mean, he nails those endings and the feeling, like the vibe.
Yeah,
Tomie doesn't pass the vibe check. There is some interest.
I mean, it doesn't fail. It just doesn't elevate. I'd say.
Yeah, I suppose that's a pretty good way to put it. I don't know. I don't think I'll read it again.
Sure.
But like Uzumaki is gonna, you come back to that shit. When is that anime out? Wasn't it supposed to be
getting
like,
delayed?
Yeah. I did when I was looking up shit. Like, there's a Tomie movie. I think is it a movie? Adaptations, film series.
There are movies of a bunch of his stuff. There's a new Uzumaki movie too. Live action.
Really? I probably knew that when we talked
From,
about it.
The year 2000.
I assume it's not great.
I have no idea. I feel like people would tell me. I would have heard things about it if it were really good. You know.
So, the Tomie film series.
But I don't know.
Tomie film series consists of 9 installments. The latest one was starting in '99, and the latest one is 2011. Junji Ito expressed his support for the films, often attending premieres, and he personally picked out the actress Miho Kano for the role of Tomie in the first film and coached her for the audition. Interesting. Doesn't mean it's good, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like his drawing style is so much the appeal of his work to me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Live action stuff is not hitting. Whereas that Adult Swim anime
Oh, dude.
is just like they just took the drawings and they put them on the screen, including keeping it black and white. It looks
that's the
so
black and
fucking
white
good.
thing is incredible. Like, just those little bits. And the Uzumaki has an advantage over Tomie in its theming, in that, like, you just put fucking spirals everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many you can like, even in stuff where it's like not actively being miserable, there's like a little spiral in the water or in the sky or anywhere else. And that just adds so much, and you can't really do that here.
Yeah. Tomie has, like, you can't get away from, like, the sexism of the premise, kind of. I feel like
I guess
it's like built into the thing.
Yeah.
In the way that, like, Spiral's a little more
neutral.
universal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And I just think it's a deeper kind of fear. It's better fear.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of the thing. It feels like I'm not supposed to be scared of Tomie. But maybe that's like me coming at it from like a more modern perspective, I guess. I don't know. Like, yeah. I like she's a monster.
You describe it as
she's not
is
bad.
the one who makes people murder her. Like,
but
on paper, you read that. That's not great.
Okay, that's because I used a shortened phrase. Her aura. She doesn't, like, the times when she's directing it is like either eliminating other Tomies, which I feel doesn't count.
She should have just been less hot, and then it would have been fine.
I don't think it would have been fine, though. She had a second growth on her head, and everyone was still like, oh my god.
Yeah, but it just makes her more alluring.
Hard
about the
disagree. It's all about the mole. Your beauty mark was so impressive. I didn't even see the tumorous growth on your head that's the size of like 2 footballs.
Mm-hmm. Part of my problem with Tomie is that Tomie isn't like a fully formed character. She's like there as this thing of evil, and she has like some attributes, but she's not a character. She's like, she's treated like an object all the time. And like there are moments where she's gets close, but like as there's no through line with her as a character. That's part of the thing, I think.
Sure.
The fact that she's not really a character in and of herself.
I agree, but I would add that
I think if she had been, I would like this more.
When you say character, do you mean just like more of a person, or just like more fleshed out in any way?
I think more of like a coherent person, yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to say I would also be more into it if she was more defined as like a force of nature, you know? Because where she sits,
Sure.
I kind of agree. She's in between, like,
Sure, if you're either one, yeah.
yeah, she's in a weird
Rather than a
middle
collection of like tropes of like her wanting to eat caviar or whatever.
spot. Well, hey, we got a payoff. She's like, do you have any caviar or foie gras? And then when
And
she's
then
like,
sick of it.
yeah, she's like, ugh, caviar and foie gras again.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That story of like where it's all like setting up to get that one guy to say he loved her by like all these horrible situations after another and everyone trying to kill her or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she just walks away. She's like, "Ah, gotcha. Gotcha, bitch. Gotcha catching feels. Get fucked."
You idiot.
Like that part's pretty good.
Did you? That's actually a good question. Did you have a favorite story of the bunch?
I mean, probably that.
Okay. Not sure. I mean, I asked,
Just
but I
get
don't
like
know what
the
mine
like,
would
oh, this is what it takes to get you to say I love you. It's just be completely pathetic.
I really liked the painter. I like the painter's story, where we get the painter and the sculptor and like,
Sure.
I don't know. It was pretty.
No, I like the stuff of like Tomie seeing the pictures. Oh, and whenever she sees the pictures of herself, she fucking hates it.
Yeah, like, do you think that's even close? You think that's even a fraction of my beauty or whatever? But also,
Well, like if it's good, she's like dismisses it, and if it's accurate to like what a monster she is, she fucking hates it.
I'm actually forgetting. Did the painter see a photograph with her growth? Or did that just emerge in his painting? I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
I had the same.
They had the story with the photographs, but right before that,
I had the same fucking problem last time I read it. In my head, I'll say I remember it as him just like seeing through that. Like he gets so obsessed that he kind of pierces through that shit and he paints her with the growth because that's the better version. But he might have seen like a picture that someone else had taken or whatever. I forget. But that's definitely the cooler version. And like the sculptor fucking went through the same route. It was just like, oh man, you were on top of the world. Like, what happened? He's like, my sculptures are no longer for the public. These are mine.
okay, he did see a picture of her with the,
Okay. That's what I thought.
with the thing. He sees the picture of her with the sculptor, and he
Right.
can see the
Right.
fucked up face.
I mean, it's still good that like that's now her to him, but it's not as good.
Mm-hmm.
Cause see, I think that would go. I think that would help do like make her the force of nature or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm.
Because once they start,
That guy's plan of like, I just want to see her get old was not a great capstone. That guy was dumb. Like, I kind of get it, but
Look.
also it's like, okay, you're kind of out of ideas.
look, it was funny.
It was, yeah. It wasn't not funny.
Like, this is pretty funny. I feel kind
But it wasn't a banger either.
it wasn't a banger. It was fine. It was amusing.
Just like, oh my god. Everyone is so fucking miserable in these stories.
Yeah. shit's rough in that world, man.
It's no good. Not a good place to be.
She also just fucking like, man. You know, the hospital one was pretty good too. Fucking liver transplant or kidney transplant or whatever it was, and then like it starts growing parts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's some good body horror.
It's also like, I don't know, pretty cursed. That's why I would never get a transplant. You can't fool me.
You're gonna try and put a little person inside me.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
gonna grow up, burst out of my chest. I'm just gonna start becoming like them.
Yeah. I mean, it's whatever.
All I'm saying, if I knew someone and then they died and then a head of themselves grew out of their chest telling me shit that contradicted what they had told me before, I don't think I'd listen to that head.
Hear me out. What if the head was hot?
Well, it's coming out. It's like sticking out of a corpse. It's not that hot.
What if the
pretty
corpse
gross.
was hot?
Circumstantially, it's pretty unappealing.
You say that, but you would be obsessed. You would listen
Well,
to that
because
head.
of the aura. If I succumb to the aura, then sure.
You think you're above an aura? Doubt.
No, I mean, no one's above it, but well, I guess some people kind of are. Like, not everyone falls in that same way, right? Some people have different taste.
Yeah,
that was the whole point of that story about that one guy. Like, he didn't have the taste of falling into the cult and being obsessed.
The ugly dude?
He needed her to be in trouble so he could save her or whatever.
Yeah. I think I mean, on that note, I also would have liked things a little better if it was like anyone got obsessed with her. Like, it could have just been literally anyone, but it kind of wasn't. I mean, I guess that old lady did, but
I mean, it was kind of everyone that we meet. It wasn't anyone that like just was like, nah.
Yeah, but like, I mean, not that I need it to be like, oh, she has to affect women this way and like get them love drunk on her or whatever, but just like being able to do that to anyone, you know? It seems like she could have, because again, the old lady was like chomping on her with her gums or whatever.
Well, the girls stuck her hair on their heads. And their face in one case.
Yeah, she fucked up. Middle of the
those,
forehead? What are you doing?
Those teenage girls got completely obsessed with her.
Here's the thing. They just liked her hair, though.
Well,
like, it wasn't an obsession. It wasn't like
That's how it's...
They weren't
That's how it started, but by the end, it was like she just wanted to talk to her, right?
I guess that happened, but that's also because her head was like... Her brain was wrapped with a single hair. It just was. I mean, I guess it's still kind of. I was gonna say men want to be with her and women want to be her, but really, men want to be with her and then kill her, and women just become her. There's no want; you just become.
There is want. It's just not. That's just not true. There just were less stories about that.
Where's the want?
Those high school girls.
Bro, they didn't want to become her. They just wanted a full head of hair. Remember?
The other one, one girl, like, just literally filled her hair with that hair.
Yeah,
the other girl
but it was like
really
hair.
just got obsessed with wanting to talk to her.
Yeah. No, they had her, and then like she's the one who went to the hospital, and like her entire body, it was like one hair or whatever. Nasty. One hair somehow way more disgusting than a shitload of hair. But yeah, you know, there's not Look, girls weren't lining up to fucking dismember her.
Look, I'm not. There isn't. It's not. It's not a story with gender equality. Okay. It just isn't.
Yeah. I'm just saying it would have helped.
Okay.
Everybody should want to kill Tomie.
I mean,
that makes her
does.
a force. I mean, some people, to be fair, some people don't want to kill her. They just want to, like, eat her or something.
See her grow old.
Yeah. They want to trap her in cement. What a fucking waste. What a waste of a long con. Fucking dude was how old? Like 100 or something? Man died unhappy. No doubt.
Well, that guy was like stoked about it, but he had gone completely crazy. He just thought he saw her there when he didn't.
Yeah.
She was gone already.
Yeah. There was a crack in the cement. Kind of a lame cop-out, but also, like, probably the better version.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a dumb joke, but...
Yeah.
You know. Got him.
He fell for the classic fucking blunder.
It's just Tomie's built different, you know?
That's true. That's incredibly true. That girl ain't right.
It is funny how like this thing, it starts as like a normal like revenge, I know what you did last summer kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, then it gets
yeah, that is like the like seeds of what Junji Ito becomes is like in that instinct of turning it from a simple like one-off story into like a bigger thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it just doesn't go far enough. It just then becomes one thing after another. It doesn't like continue to build into anything really.
Yeah.
It like just gets this thing and then that like he gets bored of that or whatever, or that's enough of that, and then the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little too strictly serialized or whatever. For my taste also.
Yep.
Is part of it.
Yeah, no, I like again, Mermaid Saga is a perfect example of like a similar thing that you just make better with more cohesion.
Yeah. I mean, characters you root for. You know what? That like as for like a long running thing, I think that's important. I think that it's important, or it makes me care more.
Yeah,
I invest in people.
Yeah. I'll invest in a vibe, but not this vibe. Like I invest in Mushishi. I don't know that I would invest in that manga though. Like that's such a very visual thing.
Sure.
Though I don't know that I don't think I'd invest in a Tomie anime either. So I was gonna mention, I completely forgot. It was really funny reading this though, because I read it after Dracula and I was like, shit, this is like 700 pages. It took me like a long time to read Dracula, but then the word count was like a 20th. So I read this in like 3 hours. Dracula took me like much longer.
Yeah, this flies by.
Yeah. I just
it's still Junji Ito.
Yeah.
You know?
And like manga, you know. I don't think there's a single page of Dracula with no text.
No, 70s Marvel comics. A lot of words. A lot of words on those pages.
I was when I was reading that, I actually forgot to mention it while we were talking about it. And I was thinking to myself, people were really bitching that like kids were reading comics instead of books. This is like the most reading I've done in my fucking life. I've read books too, you know? Those standards have changed. There's so much. It's so much fucking text. But yeah, I was like, man, people really complained, huh? And it's like it's big text. It's not like it's simple shit. They were using multi-syllable
the important thing
words.
is kids were reading things the adults weren't reading. Like, it's not allowed. Kids can't have their own thing that they like.
How
it's not
dare
the adult thing.
How
fucking dare they?
How dare the
have
kids
their
read?
own thing?
They could have those 12-year-olds could have been reading Bram Stoker's Dracula. Okay, a real vampire story.
Exactly.
And then they could develop a nice little trauma after reading 8 different scenes detailing complete body blood transfusions.
Yeah. Like real Americans. Then they wouldn't be soft.
Get out of here.
They would know how to work their overtime without complaining.
Tomb of Dracula makes you soft. I can't even think of it's funny because I literally took a class on vampire literature, which was fun, but holy shit, that the class was fun. My classmates were miserable because it turns out there is a certain group of people that takes that class. I can't even think of another vampire novel off the top of my head, despite taking that class. But it's just the Tomb of Dracula not in the vampire canon is great literature apparently.
That's a shame. It's an important version of Dracula.
I think it's real good. It's up there. There's a lot of fun. Look, it was better than the anime kids who did their presentations. The funny thing was that there was no overlap. Vampire anime. Very varied, apparently.
No kid brought up the same anime.
Yeah, no, they were all different.
That's funny. There are a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. Oh, well, that's the thing, right? With like manga and I think we talked about it like a long time ago, or I brought it up. We were having a related episode, and I think I had read an article. It was talking about like the rise of manga versus the fall of comics or whatever, and pop with the kids, and along with just a straight shot. You read from issue 1 to 4050, and there's no weird shit that you have to jump between. But also, it was like there's a manga or possibly an anime for everything. You want fishing? There's fishing. You want tennis? There's tennis. Like pick a fucking subject and it exists. Except water skiing, apparently. That has yet to happen, which is real disappointing. But you can get adjacent.
I don't know. With the anime, I feel like they come in groups.
Yeah,
like one season. With the new shows, there were like 3 badminton anime.
Oh, yeah. No, one of the ones that came up when I was looking up water skiing, it was like there was some water sports one or something, and then there was like another 3 that were airing at the same time that were a slightly different fake water sport.
Mm-hmm.
Or all of the...
But then the whole meta changed about having those extremely long titles that are basically the plot summary because of some database that changed the way that they organized things, where they got rid of summaries. So the way people found things was by the titles then, so they had it like changed the whole industry.
Dude, those titles are... I don't really like them. Like, I think from a reader perspective, I find them annoying. But from an outsider perspective, I think they're hilarious.
Oh, I don't like them because every one of them that I've checked out has been bad. I haven't found any one of them good.
You should.
Except for the Yamcha manga. Time I got resurrected as Yamcha. That's actually the good one that I found.
Is it always what is that, isekai? isekai genre.
Isekai is just stuck in another world, right?
Yeah.
Like that genre.
Like, are there
it's just very popular within that space currently.
Okay.
Isekai like predates that for sure.
No, yeah, that I know. Just for the titles, I didn't know if it was more limited to that or not.
It's just a currently
you should
popular thing, and I think like none of them have an ending.
You gotta bust out one. You gotta bust out a title like that for one of our episodes. It'd be so good. That time Ben and Hank started talking about Tomie, but then ended up talking about Magic the Gathering after getting sidetracked by Junji Ito's secret layer drop, and proceed to rant for 3 hours about EDH. That's the title.
Yeah, but
it's not happening here. But yeah, as an example,
I'm just saying we don't have podcasts like that anymore. Really,
we could.
No, because life is the reason we don't have podcasts like that. You gotta get strict recording times, and then we're out.
I mean, we could like on a weekend.
There are social pressures in the way of us having those podcasts.
Look, if I'm alone in the apartment this weekend, we can do a 4-hour episode.
I mean, we have to do another Magic Chat because I didn't get to talk about any of the things I want to talk about.
But part of the stuff on your Magic Chat is we needed to play. It's reliant on us playing Magic.
Well, sort of.
Okay, you made it sound
I would have more concrete data about it, but I could still talk about it
Oh.
without doing that.
I mean, we can put feelers out for that. I
Things
mean,
could be done.
look, we could do a 4-hour episode. We could watch The Batman. Or that fucking movie that you watch that's 4 hours long that you like.
Elephant Sitting Still.
Right, the Daniel X movie.
That movie's pretty depressing.
Yeah, it's
it's
just
just a movie about
perfect.
anxiety.
Perfect for a fucking podcast episode. I'll get drunk during it. Sounds it's ideal for color commentary. Maybe I'm just imagining like a podcast or fucking something where people like just picking really depressing films or like dramas or something, like I don't know, just people quipping over Schindler's List or something like that. Fucking terrible. I mostly wouldn't do it because I don't want to watch those movies really with someone.
You mean good movies or
Dramas? Not that I don't want to watch it, but like it'd be like I don't want to no offense, I don't really want to sit with you over voice chat and watch Schindler's List. Like that's not how I'd want to take in that film.
That's fair. No, I don't want to do that either.
Yeah,
I don't disagree.
like
I mean, I feel like we're on like year 3 of at least of like picking things that spark joy rather than
yeah,
just
it's been pretty.
things that are
It's been pretty solid.
yeah.
Also, it's helped that like a lot of the things we've been doing are like longer form things.
Sure.
Not all, but a lot.
Well,
I mean,
look, we got our deep dives.
all of them
Got sucked into things.
We were starting to get sucked into things. You would think that it's impossible to get out of the event.
We didn't stop at the worst place to take a break.
I was
we
fucking
we
ready,
completed
dude.
a section.
I was fiending.
Yeah, I know.
You wouldn't think it's possible to get sucked out of the event horizon of the fucking animated DC black hole, and yet I was.
Yeah.
And for you, it's probably not as bad. Like, it's my first time going through shit. I don't even have the
No,
pleasure of knowing
I've
what's
watched
up.
ahead plenty already.
Yeah, and I have.
I've done a lot of rewatching of other
you're,
stuff.
oh, you son of a bitch.
I knew the parts of there were just parts of Justice League I just had to rewatch,
I didn't watch ahead or anything, but I did catch a couple of clips on YouTube. Had to,
Sure.
when I was coming, you can't you can't just go cold turkey on an addiction like that. You gotta kind of wean yourself off.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's also I wanted the fucking magic set made me want to do Doctor Who. So I've watched my favorite Doctor Who clips. And I got that out of my system.
I just care about that show so little. It's like one of the last.
You haven't watched it.
I've watched a little bit of it. I've watched a
who did you watch?
Non-zero amount of Doctor Who. I watched the Van Gogh episode, and I watched
garbage.
I think I watched a handful of others, and that just happened to be in the batch. Did I watch them with someone? I remember there was a lady who was just a sheet of skin. I don't think that was the same episode, but I don't know that it wasn't.
No. I think that one's pretty early.
There was
actually.
Was it the same Van Gogh episode where there was a shadow of a dude in a window or something, and some castle or painting? I don't fucking know.
That's not one I remember.
I have no. I've watched that, and they all faded from my memory, except the Van Gogh one. I remember the main bit, which is him looking at all of his paintings or whatever. Right? I remember Skin Sheet Lady, and I remember Van Gogh in the art gallery, and that's it. It's just
Okay, I'd say those are not the things about that show I like. Oh, that's all I'll say. That's not the parts I was looking up.
Yeah. No, that show is one of the last remaining bastions of things I dislike strongly solely because too many people in my life were obsessed with them. Not that a lot of people were, but for obsession shit in a small high school, a handful is too many.
Sure. I
So
didn't have that experience in high school. But
I get that way about stuff sometimes. It's not really anymore, but I hold on to some of that stuff still. I'm willing to bite the bullet and be no, this is actually good, but I bite those bullets all the fucking time. I've eaten so many of those cakes the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball.
And I'm telling you, this would be a bullet that I think you would eat, and I would cut it off. It's one season.
No, I'm not.
This is the one.
Yeah. I'm not opposed.
It's not. It's not like making you watch all of Naruto, minus filler or whatever.
It's like your friend knows they have a loaded gun in their closet. They could pull it out, but they won't. They could, but they won't.
Yeah. Look. We didn't watch all of original Ultraman. They're limits.
Well, because there's so fucking much.
We did Dragon Ball instead. It wasn't a mount.
Whatever.
Right?
Look, that's different. Dragon Ball doesn't. It's a different amount. Look, it's a lot, but it doesn't count.
I don't think it's about, actually. I think it's content. Is what matters.
Yeah.
The quality of the content.
Yeah. Quality of content, but I think even more importantly,
there are ratios. There's balancing acts.
No, it's a investment of the viewer. If Ultraman hit with me and I was gonna watch 14 episodes a day, yeah, fucking let's go. It probably won't though. Plus I saw Ultra Q. It's all I need. Ultra Q and Shin Ultraman. It's all I need.
God, Shin Ultraman is so fucking good.
And that 4Kids version of whatever thing they cut and edited. The only thing I remember is that he grows big in it. He does get big.
That's directly important. Ultraman isn't even that long. I was trying to remember how many episodes that one was. That one's shorter than most of them.
Still.
It's only 39 episodes.
Oh, that's so many episodes.
It's not 48. It's not 72.
That's an entire Kai Namek arc. And a bit. I can't watch that in a week.
It's fewer. It's not 98 episodes, which is how many episodes of original Kamen Rider there were in the first series.
Also, I still have like 90 episodes of Urusei Yatsura to get through before January. Plus, however many
you did that to yourself.
I didn't do that to myself. That it's not my fault it hit that hard.
The world did that to you.
Yeah.
This was...
That's another bullet. If you told me in 2023 I'd be watching I'd have a fucking gag manga anime adaptation Discord profile picture, I would have been very upset with you.
Just wait till you're watching Inuyasha.
I don't know if I'll watch that. I definitely want to check out the manga. I've already bitten that bullet. As soon as I found out as soon as I started liking Urusei Yatsura, and then I found out that Inuyasha was by Rumiko Takahashi, that bullet got eaten. Because I was like, oh, like this thing that I hated because stupid is written by a person that I like and has a proven track record. All right. Also, Inuyasha was never was it on the main part of the triangle? What was it? One Piece, Naruto. I always forget if Inuyasha was in it was like the honorable mention. Bleach was in there.
Well, it was Naruto, Bleach,
Yeah,
One Piece.
Yeah.
But Inuyasha is like the side growth.
Yeah.
In terms of being popular around the same time.
Also, Code Geass really got under my skin. Not Death Note,
That's
though.
unrelated.
Not Death Note. It's not unrelated because it's, again, stuff that people from school were talking too much about.
It's hilarious that you draw the line at Code Geass, but Death Note is fine.
It's not an anime. What part about it is fucking anime? It shares an art style.
It's more... You're right, it's a manga that then got made into an anime. Code Geass was anime first. Completely different.
Yeah, there you go.
Man, Inuyasha is a lot of manga.
Dude, it's so
That's
much.
56 volumes.
It's so much.
Urusei Yatsura is only 34.
I thought it was more. Really? Just 34?
Urusei Yatsura?
I thought it was more, like it was way more, but I thought it was like 37 or 38 for some reason.
No, it's 34 because I have 17 books.
Okay.
Which are 2-in-1s.
Yeah. I mean...
And I'm looking at the Wikipedia page
at
this exact moment.
Yeah. I figured. I mean,
these numbers.
Look, I read Urusei Yatsura in like 2 weeks, so I could probably knock out Inuyasha in like 3.5.
It's true, you did read it so fucking fast. Unreal fast. I don't think it's amount.
Yeah, no, it's just getting sucked into a thing.
Yeah. Anyway, just like getting obsessed with Tomie.
Just he brings it back. The fucking full circle.
You know? You like Urusei Yatsura so much that eventually you'll just want to destroy it.
I got my omnibus of Urusei Yatsura and I just fucking... I want to cut it into pieces.
Anyway, I think that's a podcast.
Yeah.
SoulCirclePodcast@gmail.com, SoulCirclePod on Twitter, anchor.fm/SoulCircle. I'm on Twitter at Comic Panels.
And I'm not. I'm just chilling. Oh, perfect
Happy
timing.
post-Halloween.
Oh, yeah. It is, yeah, post-Halloween. Right.
Yeah. This was recorded on Halloween.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. It's a Halloween episode.
Peace.